Quick reminder, Discord server link down in the description below. It's a great time. We're building a great community here at Bruce and Stephanie Comics. There are people talking comic books every single day on that Discord server. So if you like comic books and you want to join this awesome community, link down in the description. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel. And today, the day of recording this video, is Thursday, March 7th of 2024. And guys, I'm cooking up my little appetizer to give to you guys in today's video, which is my final order cutoff, speculation, and recommendation show. This is the appetizer for all the other videos that are going to be dropping later this weekend. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tease what I found on this weekend's final order cutoff that I think has a little bit of meat on the bones, so that way you and me can hopefully try to make this hobby fund itself. But I also scoured final order cutoff looking for all the best reads, because we do not want to miss out on the amazing stories that are being told. And guys, there were like five or six new number ones that we cannot miss. These stories sound really freaking good. And then we're gonna wrap up this video with my new comic book day cover lover picks that I think could do well on the secondary market that are coming out next week. And that's this video. So let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's go ahead and cover my 3 weekly speculation reminders. Now, if you guys are seasoned speculators, or if you guys have seen this video series before, you guys can look down in the description below and go right ahead and skip right ahead to this weekend's final order cutoff cover lover picks. But if you guys are new to this video series or new to speculation, you guys stick around and hear my 3 weekly speculation reminders. And first up is the biggest and most important reminder that I have for you guys, and that is you guys have to do your own research. Guys, I'm going to present some information to you guys today, but what I need you to do is go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust, and gather the most information possible so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself. Because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money. I hate how I do this. I do it every single week. Your own hard-earned money. What am I, like some Goomba or something? You're spending your own hard-earned money on these books. It's not my money, but it's your money. And the second reminder that I have for you guys is that, guys, there are delays with comic books. So sometimes the book will show up multiple times on final order cutoff, and that is because its release date got moved for one reason or another. And the last and final reminder that I have for you guys is that I make this video on Thursday, and DC Comics, Marvel Comics, and all the independent titles have up into the order deadline dates to either add or remove books. And so, since I'm making this video so early in the week, there are 2 places that I highly suggest you guys check before you're putting your final order cutoff orders in, because they will have up-to-date information. And they are the Comic Book Frontier, which is a Facebook group run by my good friend Al, link down in the description below. He updates his list all the way up into the order deadline dates, which we'll cover in a little bit. And the other place is coverprice.com. They put a list out on Sundays, and they are a very comprehensive list run by a group of great people. So those are the 2 places, the Comic Book Frontier and coverprice.com, 2 great places to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information before submitting your final order cutoff orders. All right, guys, that is it. Those are my 3 weekly speculation reminders. Let's go ahead and cover this weekend's final order cutoff order deadline dates. Alright guys, if you're interested in picking up any of the books that I'm going to talk about in today's video, you guys need to get your pre-orders in by March 10th for your DC Scout and Vault books, and March 11th for your Marvel and all the other indie publishers. Now, the reason why you want to get your pre-orders in by these dates, because online retailers will normally give you a 20%, or I should say up to a 20% discount off the cover price of these books. So if you want to order multiple copies of these books because you think it's good speculation, why not save that 20% and get your orders in by these dates? All right, guys, those were this weekend's final order cutoff order deadline dates. It's time to jump into this weekend's final order cutoff cover liver picks. Alright guys, there were only 4 covers that I found on this weekend's final order cutoff that I think could do well on the secondary market, either right out of the gate or in the future. So let's go ahead and cover these books. And first up is The Incredible Hulk, issue number 11, with the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Arthur Adams. Now, Arthur Adams is normally on the list because he's doing some gorgeous woman on the cover, but I think this cover for The Incredible Hulk is actually really freaking good. And also, this is issue number 11 of The Incredible Hulk, so we're pretty deep into this run, and I'm not sure how many shops are going to be ordering 25 copies of The Incredible Hulk issue number 11. So I think this book does have a chance to be a little rare. And next up is Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 issue number 2 with the Stormbreakers variant done by Martin Coccolo. Now, the reason why I added this cover to the list is because this is Symbiote Spider-Man 2099. So this cover should be focusing on characters in the 2099 universe. And who is this character? I'm not reading this book, so I don't know if this character has been in issue number 1 or been in this series before, but this kind of looks like a Symbiote Spider-Punk 2099? Is this the first appearance of Spider-Punk Symbiote or Symbiote Spider-Punk 2099? I don't know. But guys, do your own research. I think this could be a pretty cool pickup. Alright guys, next up is X-Men 97 issue number 2 with the 1-in-100 ratio variant done by David Mack. It's Jean Grey. It's David Mack. This cover is absolutely gorgeous, and it's a 1-in-100. And even with this being only an issue number 2, I don't know how many shops are going to be ordering 100 copies of X-Men 97. So I think this cover has a good chance to be pretty rare, and this is just an awesome, awesome David Mack cover. Now next up is Spectrograph issue number 1, the cover F variant done by Jenny Frison. This is a gorgeous wraparound cover for Spectrograph issue number 1. This is a book that's going to be written by James Tynion IV and I think art by Christian Ward. I don't know much about it, but I know it's going to be a horror-themed book, and this cover is absolutely gorgeous. Now, what might hurt this cover a little bit is that it's going to be open order. I wish it was a 1-in-25 or at least a 1-in-10, but this cover by Jenny Frison is absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, those are my 4 cover lover picks that are on this weekend's final order cutoff. Let's go ahead and move over to my second prints, facsimiles, and beyond. Alright, there are a total of 5 books that are either second prints, facsimiles, and beyond, so let's go ahead and cover these pretty quickly. First up is What If Venom, issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Linnell Francis Yu. Now next up is Mad Magazine, issue number 36 with the second print variant. Now I think it's pretty amazing that Mad Magazine is having a second print for one of their issues. Now obviously this is because there's Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift on the cover, but how cool is that? Mad Magazine getting a second print. Now guys, next up is Ultimate Black Panther issue number 1 with the third print variant done by Peach Momoko. Next up is Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 1 with the fourth print variant done by Marco Cicchetto. And last but not least, we have X-Men issue number 130 with the facsimile edition and the facsimile foil edition. Now in the guts of this book, we have the first appearance of Dazzler, second appearance of Kitty Pryde, and second appearance of Emma Frost. This is also the second part to the Dark Phoenix saga. Alright guys, those are the second prints, facsimiles, and beyond. Let's go ahead and cover the couple books that had a little bit of speculation in the guts. Alright guys, I found 5 total books that had a little something in the guts, so let's go ahead and cover these books. And first up is Poison Ivy, issue number 21. Now this is the origin of the first meeting of Batman in Poison Ivy. There are some great covers for this issue. Next up is Edge of Spider-Verse, issue number 3 with the first appearance of Star Spider, and you can see them right here on cover A. Now next up is Symbiote Spider-Man 2099, issue number 2. Now the solicitation says Miguel has no choice but to power himself up with a symbiote the likes of which the world has never seen. But there was a very similar synopsis to issue number 1. So guys, make sure you guys are doing your own research. Maybe that symbiote was introduced in issue number 1, but that synopsis gives me a feeling that there might be a little something new there. But I'm not 100% sure. Guys, do your own research. Now guys, next up is Ultimate X-Men issue number 2 with the first full appearance of Maystorm. Again, there are some great covers for this book, and I love that this is a first full appearance of a really cool new character. Now guys, next up is the last and final book on this weekend's final order cutoff that had something a little bit in the guts, which I'm not sure if this is 100% in the guts, but let's go ahead and talk about it. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 150. This is a big milestone issue for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is also the final issue for the current team on this book, which is Sophia Campbell, and I'm not sure who the artist is, but I know there's a bunch of artists that contributed to issue number 150, but this is the end of Sophia Campbell's run on it. And guys, I gotta say, I'm pretty excited that this is the end of her run, and we're jump-starting with Jason Aaron with the next issue. Now, I'm pretty sure IDW said Jason Aaron is going to be continuing, so I think the next issue is going to be 151, but it could be wrong. Maybe they're just going to reboot the series with a new issue with Jason Aaron's run, but I'm a big fan of Jason Aaron, so I'm excited for that. But this, again, is a big milestone issue, so I think there could be a little something there, especially if they are restarting this with an issue number 1. This could be sought after in the future. All right, guys, that is everything that I found on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. Let's go ahead and find out what my spec picks of the week are. This is not a terrible week to save your money, but there are 2 books that are, piquing my fancy, or they got my mojo cooking a little bit. So let's go ahead and talk about those 2 books. And first up is Mad Magazine issue number 36, the second print variant. There is so much crazy buzz around these 2 people, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. If they somehow stay a couple for a while, I can see a book like this doing well on the secondary market, especially if there's less copies of it ordered than the original first print. So I would definitely pick up a copy of this if you see it somewhere. I don't think I've ever seen Mad Magazine in the shops around me on Long Island, but guys, if you see this in your local comic book shop, I would definitely pick it up because I think a lot of sports fans are going to be really interested in this book. Now, the other book that I think people should consider is Ultimate X-Men issue number 2, which has the first appearance of Maystorm, or the first full appearance of Maystorm. And why I think you should consider this book is because if Ultimate X-Men follows the trend of Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 2, this book could do decently. Like, if you look at the sales for Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 2, we're looking around the last time I checked, which is actually last week, so I shouldn't, quote these numbers, or don't quote me on these numbers, but it was selling for around $20 to $30, which is a pretty decent, bump over the cover price. You're looking at, a $25 profit there. So, with this having a first full appearance of a character, I think this would do even better, especially if the buzz around this continues to grow and grow. And Ultimate X-Men issue number 1 just dropped yesterday. I don't get my copy until next week, so I have no idea if the story is good or not. Guys, that's what the internet is for. I'm sure there's lots of reviews out there. So do your own research. There are some great covers. I really like the Peach Momoko one. Not the cover A, but the variant cover that she did. That is absolutely gorgeous. The cover A is, I don't know, a little weird in my opinion. But guys, those are the 2 books that I think would do the best on the secondary market. Guys, let me know down in the comments below if you absolutely disagree with me and I missed the mark completely, or if you agree with me. I would love to know. But guys, those are my 2 spec picks of the week. Let's go ahead and move over to the next session, which is my Final Order Cutoff recommendations to read. Alright guys, there were 5 books that I found on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff that I think we all have to be pre-ordering because I think these books are going to be absolutely amazing. And we're going to quickly cover the first 3 and then I'm going to read the synopsis for the last 2. So, the first 3 are all by Ghost Machine. They are a new imprint over at Image Comics led by Jeff Johns, and they are going to have some amazing stories that are all going to be part of, I believe, the Geiger universe. And the first book that we're going to talk about is the new Geiger issue number 1 from the writer of Jeff Johns and art by Gary Frank. This is just the continuation of the original series, but this is just now under the Ghost Machine umbrella, and it's such a badass, amazing story. If you guys haven't checked it out, go pick up the trade and then pick up this first issue because it is so stinking good. Next up is Rook Exodus issue number 1 from the writer of, you guessed it, Jeff Johns, but this has art by Jason Fabak. What an awesome creative team. We had Gary Frank as the artist in the last book. Now we have Jason Fabak on this one. Now this one is set in the same universe, but people have these helmets that are like animal based and they can control the animals of their helmets. So this guy right here on the cover is can control hawks, I believe, or crows or something, some kind of bird. But so cool. And as one of his best friends, I believe it has like a boar helmet. I don't know. It's a really cool concept and it's stuck in this universe of Geiger. Hopefully these characters are gonna, like, you know, meet with the Geiger people, and it's gonna be freaking amazing. Now guys, next up is Red Coat, issue number 1 from the writer of Jeff Johns, and that's right, with art by Brian Hitch. What a badass creative team. We have Gary Frank, Jason Fabak, and now Brian Hitch. Now Red Coat is a character that is eternal. Like, he can't die. He just, like, you know, lives, and he, like, gets shot and killed, and then he comes back. Really cool character. He's now in the Geiger universe, and now he's always wearing this red coat that he's had since, like, you know, the Civil War days. Such a cool idea. Love it. I love all 3 of these books. And if you guys haven't read the Geiger universe or whatever launch, I forgot what the name of the book is, I'll find it and put it on the screen. I'm just blanking right now because I have a camera in front of my face and my brain goes dead. So, but there was a book that had like little short stories for all of these books in it, and it was absolutely amazing. And yeah, that's why all these books are on this list. But let's go ahead and move over to the next book, which is Spectrograph, issue number 1. Now this is a new series debut from Distillery, which is that awesome new publisher. But guys, this is coming from the writer James Tynion IV and has art by Christian Ward. Let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this. Modern masters James Tynion IV and Christian Ward join forces to bring you their next horror classic. A ghost story steeped in decay of a century of capitalism. For years, the mansion has sat strangely nested into the coastline just a short drive north of Los Angeles. Rumors have haunted this place for years. Its owner, a titan of American industry with a strange fascination in the occult and the paranormal. For decades, the richest men and women in the country have whispered to each other, trying to understand what he was building alone in that mansion for all those years. And now, finally, with his death and his estate finally open for sale, they are eager to find out for themselves. 2 of the most celebrated visionaries of the medium, multiple Eisner Award winners James Tynion IV and Christian Ward invite you into the world of Spectrograph, a haunting, cerebral horror novel that peels back the layers of American opulent wealth and uncovers the rot underneath. But be careful, once you enter, you may never leave. Cool. It's James Tynion IV. If you do not like his horror stories, what? I don't understand. He is such an amazing horror writer, and everything this guy is putting out, I'm absolutely eating up and loving it. So that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, because this is, I believe, going to be a freaking amazing book. Now, guys, next up is a cool book. It is called Principles of Necromancy, issue number 1. Now, this is coming from a publisher called Magma. I've never heard of Magma before, but the reason why this book is in this video is because it's coming from the writers of Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. And if you guys watch my Wednesday pull list video, you will know that I have been raving about these 2 lately. Almost everything they've been putting out has been like these really strong, like character-driven team books that just are so freaking good. They are just like, I don't know, they've hit their stride and their writing is so great. Now, they have teamed up with Eamon Winkle, I want to say that's how it's pronounced, and they are telling a really crazy book. But let me go ahead and read the synopsis for you. So, while brave knights and dangerous monsters wage endless war, business is booming for Dr. Jacob Eyes, a traveling physician whose arcane remedies are the closest thing to magic the world knows. These gruesome miracles are only stepping stones to Dr. Eye's ultimate ungodly goal, to overcome death itself. And now, a band of decimated barbarians, desperate to bargain for their lives, may just make the ideal next test subjects. The phenomenal writing duo of Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing return to creator-owned comics with this macabre series brought to life by the evocative, horrific art of Eamon Winkle. And each issue features a variant cover by Jana Heidersdorf. I totally butchered that. I know I did. But guys, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing on an independent to a publisher that I've never heard of before. This is the kind of stuff that I dig on Final Order Cutoff looking for. This is like the cool little gems that could be freaking amazing, but maybe they're not. But I personally really enjoy the writing, so I'm giving this book a shot. Already pre-ordered myself a copy, and yeah, I'm pumped for this book. But guys, those were the 5 books that I think you guys have to consider picking up, or pre-ordering, I should say, on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. Let your local LCS know, or order these online. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and cover the couple covers that I found on next week's New Comic Day that I think could do well on the secondary market. Alright guys, there are 2 covers coming out next week on New Comic Book Day that I think could do well on the secondary market. So let's go ahead and cover these 2 covers. First up is Ghost Rider Final Vengeance issue number 1 with the 1 in 100 Virgin Ratio variant done by Greg Capullo. So let's just take all that in. We got a 1 in 100 Virgin variant done by Greg Capullo, but this also in the guts, it has the character of the Hood becomes a Ghost Rider, which is really stinking cool. So we get something in the guts. We get this amazing high ratio variant, which I don't know how many shops are going to be ordering 100 copies of Ghost Rider Final Vengeance. So this is a chance to be a little rare high ratio variant and also has a little something in the guts, which is really good. And just look at that artwork. It's freaking amazing. Now the last one up is Black Widow and Hawkeye issue number 1 with the 1 in 100 Virgin variant done by Archer. This is fantastic. Fantastic. This is, it is so deliciously good, and I absolutely love it. I love this 50s, 60s feel, probably 50s of Black Widow. She just looks stunning. I love that it's a Virgin. I think a trade dress will get in the way. This is just fantastic. I love this. I think this is a great pickup, especially if you can find it under ratio and then sell it above ratio. Great, great freaking book. And guys, those are the 2 covers that I found on next week's New Comic Book Day that I think could do well on the secondary market. And that's the end of today's video. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Alright guys, we are at the end of today's video, and if you guys have stuck around this long, you know what you are. I'm going to go ahead and remind you though, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Now guys, just like in every single video, I'm going to ask you to look down. If you guys haven't hit that like button just yet, do me a favor and smash that like button. Look right next to it. If the subscribe button is not hit yet, do me a favor, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, so that way you guys are notified when I upload new videos. And guys, I really hope to have one more video this week. It's going to be my haul video for January and February. I got a lot of good books to show off. I'm just going to see how fast I'm going to edit this video so I can have time later today to record it and then edit it tomorrow morning before, the rest of the day starts. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys at least next Tuesday with the Wednesday pull list, but hopefully tomorrow on Friday with my haul video for the last 2 months. All right, guys, have yourself a great final order cutoff. I hope you had a great New Comic Book Day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.